Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about the future perfect progressive tense and how to make statements with this grammar point. This is similar to the future perfect tense, the simple future perfect tense. It might be helpful if you check out that grammar point in addition to this grammar point. So let's begin. Let's first take a look at when we use the future perfect progressive tense. We use this grammar point to refer to actions that will or won't be continuing at a specific point in the future. So here I've included won't be continuing, but this is really, really rare. In general, this grammar point is not used a lot. And within this grammar point, using the negative form here is quite rare, and in most cases, there's a better way to say it than to use the negative form of the future perfect progressive. But just in case you see it somewhere, this is how it's used. So there's a specific point in the future, and it refers to some action that will be continuing, something that's continuing at that point in the future, though the action itself is going to end as well. So we'll see a few examples of how to use this in just a moment. Keep in mind then, you do need a point in time. You do need a specific point in time here. Okay, let's take a look at how to make the future perfect progressive. So when we make the positive form, it's will plus have been plus the progressive form of the verb. When we make the negative form, which again is very rare and it's not typically used, but just in case you see it somewhere, we would use will not or won't plus have been plus the progressive form of the verb. So don't worry too much about this one. It's not so common. Let's take a look then at some examples which primarily use the positive form. Okay, first one, our verb for this sentence is live. Here, as of next month, I will have been something in this city for 8 years. So first, let's complete the sentence. I will have been, live in the progressive form, or the continuous form is living. So I will have been living in this city for 8 years. So what does this sentence mean? This means as of next month. This as of means like at this certain point in time in the future. So as of next month, I will have been living in this city for 8 years. So the speaker is talking in the present, but the point in time is somewhere in the future, next month. So at this point in the future, I will have been living in this city for 8 years means up until this point. So at this point in time, this marks a specific point in time, the speaker has been living. So that has been a continuing action for 8 years. That action has continued and perhaps will continue, I think, too. So this refers to something that's continuing at this point in time. Okay, let's move on to another example then. Here our verb is study. When I graduate college, I will have been something in my field for 4 years. In my field means like about my topic. In my field. Field means your topic of study. So when I graduate college, I will have been studying in my field for 4 years. So again, let's take a look at this. Here, our point in time is when I graduate college. When I graduate college. So this is our key point in time in the future somewhere. When I graduate college, I will have been studying in my field for 4 years. Means at this point in time, this point marks the 4-year point for this person's studies. So that means in the period before that, for 4 years, this person studied his or her topic. So this is referring to something that was continuing and maybe will continue in the future, but it marks like a key point here. In this case, the 4-year point. Okay, let's move along to the next example sentence. Our verb is train. By next week's marathon, he will have been something for 6 months. So train, the progressive form is training. He will have been training for 6 months. So here, our deadline is marked with by. By next week's marathon. By next week's marathon, he will have been training for 6 months. So at this point in time next week, the total time of his training will be 6 months. So this is marking a milestone, a key point, something, some kind of action here. There's some kind of special point in time marked here. So 6 months, this is the 6-month point for his training. All right, let's move on to what I said was a kind of a rare sentence pattern. That's using this in the negative. This is not a common sentence pattern, and it's not something that we typically use. Instead of using the future perfect progressive tense in the negative, we might use a different grammar, something else to explain a situation. So this is quite rare. I just want to introduce it to maybe give an example of what it could mean. But again, this is something that's not really used. So with that in mind, let's take a look. The verb here is drink. As of tomorrow, she won't have been something alcohol for 1 month. So let's finish the sentence first. The verb is drink. So the progressive form is drinking. As of tomorrow, she won't have been drinking alcohol for 1 month. So here we have our point in time. As of tomorrow, tomorrow is our point in time. She won't have been drinking alcohol for 1 month. That means this action, drinking alcohol, has not happened, has not been continuing for a period of 1 month. So in this example, perhaps the speaker decided, in this example, perhaps she, this person, decided not to drink alcohol, to stop drinking alcohol. So this is showing us at this point in time, tomorrow, for a period of 1 month, the speaker has not been drinking alcohol. So again, this is kind of a rare sort of sentence. This is not so common, but in case you see something like this is what it means. So that means as of this key point, something has not happened. Something has not been happening here. In this case, no drinking alcohol in this period of time. So again, there are very few situations perhaps where we need to talk about this, but you might see an example like that. Okay, let's continue on with one more kind of more typical example here. The verb is pay. So by 2020, I will have been something student loans for 10 years. Student loans, that's money that we receive in order to go to university or to college. So the verb is pay. So we will use paying, the progressive form. By 2020, I will have been paying student loans for 10 years. So at 2020, by the year 2020, this is my point, my key point here, I will have been paying, that means up until this point, continuously, I will have been paying student loans for a 10-year period. So again, this is a continuing action, started sometime and is going to continue to this point mentioned in the sentence. So this is a quick introduction to the future perfect progressive tense. And like I said, it's not such a common grammar point, but it does communicate a lot of interesting information about the future and something that's going to continue into the future. So if you see this or if you hear this, please try to keep these points in mind. And again, the negative form is quite rare, so don't worry too much about this one, but if you see it, this will help you understand that it's an action that was not continuing. So kind of an interesting thing, I think. All right, but I'll finish there. If you have any questions or comments, or if you'd like to practice making a sentence with this grammar, please feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. Of course, if you liked this lesson, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other resources for your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.